I would like to introduce all of you to the wonderful two gentlemen, Nate and James from Survios.
All right. Thank you very much, Roy, for the lovely introduction, and thank you very much to VRLA for really putting this amazing event together, and Cosmo and Johnny and everyone else. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. It's been amazing to see this community grow over the past few years. So VRLA is really the nexus of the VR industry. And we're super excited to see all the amazing showcases here today. And of course, yeah, thanks to Roy Taylor and AMD for all the support of the community, and of course for sponsoring us today as well.
If you didn't already know about Survios, we actually started way back in the day as Project Holodeck at the Mixed Reality Lab. This is a lab inside the Institute for Creative Technologies at USC. And what you see here in this picture is James and Alex, who's our software lead and co-founder, with kind of this crazy jerry-rigged project where you consider it kind of like a wireless multiplayer version of the Vive, where you could be two Vives in the same space at the same time. This was essentially 2.5 years ago, and it's skateboard helmet, duct tape together, and PVC pipe together with PlayStation Move. Basically, we put together an entire system by hand. It actually uses Mirror's technology that's embodied inside the Razer Hydra and the PlayStation Move. And after putting all this together, we realized that it's just an amazing experience to have your entire body inside VR, to be untethered, and to be able to interact with a number of different things, and to be there with another person.
Yeah, so we actually built a lot of prototypes based off this technology, and we're excited to see the parallels now that we can bring it into full room scale experiences like HTC Vive and with Oculus Touch and PlayStation VR as well. You may remember we did a really early game demo called Zombies on the Holodeck. It won some Proto Awards back in 2014. This is where we really started to explore what it was like to be in VR with other people, be able to actually have embodiment and social body language, and you could actually interact really realistically and dynamically together. And then, of course, being able to broadcast that to an audience, both locally and online. All of these things started to come together as really exciting points. So we want to show you a quick video. This is actually, we had a bunch of people come in and try this demo. One of them that we found the most entertaining was actually Dr. Drew. He had a really profound insight and that we want to share. And this is the kind of thing that we think that we should strive for all VR users and VR players to feel like. This is really the kind of feeling that we want to go for in terms of VR games and VR entertainment as a whole.
I feel like I've visited some other world, and it really is like otherworldly. You've been somewhere else, and I was deeply invested in the experience while I was in it. I was amazed at the depth, the immersiveness of the experience, and I expected to be sort of disoriented when I got out, or to be dizzy. I was not dizzy. I was a little euphoric, and I want to go back. That's about all I know. But truly like nothing else I've ever done, like a Disneyland ride mixed with a roller coaster. I mean, I don't need to go anywhere anymore.
Did you feel sick at all?
I didn't have any of those experiences. I expected to feel sick or disoriented. I just felt immersed, and then I felt like I'm back. And I do feel really like I've been hypnotized or something, like a little refreshed.
Yeah. So. Multiplayer and telepresence is a ton of fun with friends. Whether you're locally or online over a network, it's a blast to be able to see each other and interact in really compelling ways. And of course, spectating and broadcasting, this actually really is what is a key to drawing in a non-VR audience. So something that we're going to have to strive to do, all of us in this room as VR developers, is constantly trying to evangelize to non-VR consumers, and of course try to bring them in under the umbrella and try to convert them to experiencing these types of VR content. And so broadcasting and streaming in a really interesting way is definitely a way to do that. So we kind of broke it down into a common foundation where we see this really large spectrum going all the way from extreme mixed reality and big warehouses, kind of like The Void and a lot of the stuff that Mark Bullis is doing at the Mixed Reality Lab, all the way down to a smaller room scale experience, like the HTC Vive, PlayStation VR, and of course everything in between, like omnidirectional treadmills and these types of things. And we realize there's this common foundation between all of them. Being able to have emergent interaction in your full environment, having full 360 engagement is really enticing. So grabbing, throwing, climbing, shooting, all of these different things that you would expect it to do. The goal is that anything that you see in your environment that you expect to be interactive, you want to have it be interactive. And so building out a generic interaction architecture to do that is one of the key things to unlocking this type of experience for users. Of course, social multiplayer is a big part of it. We're seeing lots of social apps now starting to grow and bolster their communities. Being social is a key part of playing together as well. So being able to bring your friends' avatars into the experience together, being able to have facial expression or high-five each other, or even just interact in a variety of ways and collaborate to do different things. This is a really key foundation to building compelling gaming content as well, and it's something to really watch out for in the future. And of course, cinematic spectating is something that we've really hit on today, and of course, we're doing our event later tonight. We want to showcase what it's like to have dynamic camera angles, both of people moving around physically in the environment and moving around virtually in their VR world, and being able to splice those together in a really interesting way that's cinematic and compelling for people outside of VR. So you can actually tune in online or hang out locally wherever the event is and be able to experience it almost by proxy. So these are all the foundational pieces that we see helping expand VR into a much larger audience over time.
So I want to talk a little bit about active VR. Active VR is not just kind of an excuse to make a cool action video game. It's actually a philosophy that we adhere to very closely. And this ability to move around inside virtual reality, really, it's very crucial. It lets us tap into our latent humanity. Human beings were hardwired to do a lot of things that we don't get to do in civilization like we should. We're hardwired to run, jump, chase, collect, build, fight, all of these different things that we do in nature. And when you, and we're also hardwired to explore completely new worlds, to be at at a frontier and actually see something new. To walk over a hill and see something you've never seen before is something that we're hardwired to do. We don't get to do anymore because we've explored the entire world. So when you combine this this physicality with the infinite possibilities of new worlds inside virtual reality, you really get something that's completely new. It's kind of allows us to change the domain of humanity. Really, it expands what's possible, not only in our lives, but in our minds. And really, society at this point has become very kind of homogenized. I mean, like even going to another country, you'll see a McDonald's. It's you don't really have too many new cultural experiences you can get yourself into. And so VR is actually really, really, really crucial in general for humanity. It's something that, as time goes on, is going to be necessary for us to really remember how to be human fundamentally.
And so as an example of active VR, we're really excited to announce and showcase our first launch title, Raw Data, today at the event. So we're actually down the show floor. Come check us out. This is really our early pre-alpha build to kind of showcase what these components of active VR can feel like. And of course, this applies to every genre, platforming, RPGs, MMOs, you name it. All of these things are going to come to life in VR in the very near future. We're firm believers that we're going to have our Oasis, we're going to have our Sword Art Online. That stuff is most certainly in the near future as an industry. And for us personally, our first step towards getting there is actually building out an online FPS where you can have co-op multiplayer in a PvE environment. That's a player versus enemies. And so this is the kind of thing that we wanted to build out just as a first stepping stone towards building this foundation that a lot of different types of VR gaming content can be built on. So we're really amped about it. We hope you come over and check it out. And thanks so much for having here. It's been a blast, and we're super thrilled to be here. So thanks again.